What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Phones and Drones. For those of you that follow the channel, you know we just did our weekend review with the Fold 3, and it really kind of pushed back our Flip 3 kind of hands-on. Well, here we are a couple days later. I want to give it the same time frame treatment, and obviously some of those same statements hold true for now, like I said, for that Fold. But those being, battery life isn't going to be discussed here just because the battery is still learning your usage pattern, and it's not going to be a fair assumption to see what it's at. You can gauge kind of how it's going to operate, but again, it varies so much with the way Samsung's battery management software works and learning your usage pattern. We're going to kind of leave that to the side. Having said that, let's go ahead and knock out these accessories first. And I did an unboxing in a kind of a hands-on with these really unique cases that Samsung's offering as first-party cases. These are two of the same ones. They're all basically, silicone cases with this strap for you to be able to put your fingers in, kind of like that, and have the phone on. As you can see, they are off of the phone. I am not a huge fan. They make them more bulky than they need to be. This phone looks great naked, and I think if you don't like the colorway you got, which isn't the case for me, but in general, if you don't like it, you can definitely throw a skin on this and be better off. I did have that the leather case for it as well. However, I'm still just not a huge fan of a case in general, so I'm going to go ahead and leave them off and run with it naked for now. So as you can see, what I'm doing here is I'm clearing notifications. There was a bunch here, and this is one of the hugest upgrades on this phone, aside from, that IPX8 water resistance and all that, is this new 4 times larger touchscreen. For those of you that use one of the older generations, you know that minuscule little display was a waste, and it really was just unusable. No matter what you wanted to do with the phone, you would have to open it up and close it and open it and close it every time you just wanted to look for anything other than the time, basically. So this display is so much more useful. You can see I kind of customized it there. You can change the clocks, the background, and all of those things. You have useful widgets here. Problem is that I'm finding so far is that in order to interact with anything, even say for instance the weather, it's going to prompt you to open the phone to continue. So no quick replies right now, which is a little bit of a letdown, but just wanted to throw that out there. Still useful as it is. Now, if you guys are texting a lot or doing a lot of usage, that is going to warrant the screen to be open. Maybe opening and closing it 50 times a day or 50 times in the first couple of hours just to respond to something isn't going to be ideal for you guys. But this compact phone factor, it is so nice to have something smaller in your pocket. I don't want to say it disappears, obviously, when it's in your pocket, but this is not a big phone at all. It is very easy to use, very easy to handle one-handed. It has that larger, kind of unique, longer aspect ratio from top to bottom, but I have not had any issues with this at all as far as reaching the top. It's not a problem. You can always use those Android notification pull down methods, swipe down. I've had no issues at all with that long display. One thing with the aspect ratio I will call out is if you are using something in YouTube, if you're watching a movie or something, and if you go to do a wide orientation, a landscape orientation, if you're holding the phone horizontally and stretch a video, it does look junky. It cuts off quite a bit. So you might get those letterboxing effects on the side. But aside from that, it's been great. I really do like using it. You have those two 12 megapixel cameras on here. They're both 12 megapixel on the outside, and then you do have that 10 megapixel hole punch cutout camera on the inside. So again, hole punch, it is not under display. I think they made a good decision here, waiting for the second generation of that technology to come out, because currently on the Fold, that under camera display, a lot of people have talked about, it is just trash. I know it uses a lot of software processing to dehaze and all that, but by no means is it ideal. It gives the display a much nicer look, but you're going to be using this primary selfie camera probably more than the other one, so just keep that in mind. 6.7-inch display, like I said, you are getting a 2636 by 1080p pixels with that 120 hertz refresh rate. It works awesome. Again, no step down in hardware processing either. You do have that Snapdragon 888 in this one, so it moves smoothly. 128 gigs of storage is basic on this, standard, works out great. If you're a heavy, downloader, have a lot of videos and photos, it does tap out at 256. There's no 512 or higher option, so that is just something to keep in mind. All right, the only call out I'm going to really mention here for battery life is just how little of a milliamp hour battery it has. 3,300 milliamps, and it is weak, and as you would probably expect, you're not going to get a full day of usage if you are a heavy user. Might get you through if you're just, checking some emails, browsing the web, but when you start watching videos and streaming, not going to be the best device for you. Again, those are my early results. We'll dive into it more on our full review, but I did just want to give you something to know. I've had no issues at all. You can see, obviously, like I do in all my other devices, especially all my other Samsung ones, I do change my launcher, but everything's actually fast and responsive with this. I haven't had the issue like I've had in the past where I couldn't, if I'm using Nova, swipe up and scroll through. I haven't had that issue at all. With this, it works out great. The hinge feels great, much more refined. It holds a little better, not like the other one was bad, but I haven't had a single issue really with that. So time's going to tell how good these batteries are, but even now for a quick side-by-side with that Flip 3 and the Fold 3, it's really going to come down to your personal preference and what you do with your devices. Yes, obviously cost is going to come into play as well. You're talking about a $1,000 phone from an 1800. You can almost buy two of these for the same price. Beauty of Samsung is they're allowing multiple trade-ins this time. You can actually trade in multiple devices for a single new one, just because these phones are so expensive. But if cost isn't an option, it really is just going to come down to personal preference. What design do you like better? What style do you like better? I can tell you right now, from somebody who's used the Fold 1, 2, and 3 now, I really do like the compact nature of this. It doesn't feel like you're carrying a brick for obvious reasons. The only thing that always hinders me away is, even though this display is enlarged and is much better than what it has been, I really wish they went somewhat of a razor route and you had a larger display to actually interact with notifications and go from there. But personal preference, this is going to be fine for a ton of people. And it's, again, been said to no end, but I truly believe that this is going to launch foldables mainstream. Samsung hit it out the park. There's all these numbers that are coming out talking about how much they're overselling the last S21 series. So that's hugely impressive and a good outlook for foldables. A lot of people thought these might have just been, flukes and trial and not something that's going to stick for how products are going to look in the future, but I think these are definitely on track to be the future of phones. Let me know what you guys think. Comment down below. Are you interested in one or the other? Which one do you prefer? Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.